Howdy folks, Matt here with Gulf Coast Fit. Chillaxing at the marina, the HQ if you will. And I just skated here. My skate was my commuter vehicle of choice today. And while I was skating, I really like to use skating as a full body, fluid kind of mobility and proprioception and it's kind of a joint lubrication activity wrapped up in a fun way to commute. And so it's a very beneficial, multifaceted endeavor for me. I'm getting where I need to go. I'm getting some activity in with a multitude of physical benefits, but I don't count it as a workout, so to speak, because it's just fun. It's just part of life. It's a recreational activity. And when I got here, I'm planning on making some videos. When I got here to the marina, I thought, oh man, it felt good to just wiggle it out, shake it out, twist it out, and kind of move in a ballistic fashion. Very dynamic movement, very ballistic movements when I'm on my skate. And it makes for a great warm-up before I work out. Skating is one of my favorite warm-up modalities. But we can also take that kind of concept of being ballistic and shaking things out, moving quickly and dynamic, to a typical hands-free, body weight only mobility / flexibility warm-up routine. So I'm gonna hop on my boat and run through one with you real quick. And just like the other warm-up or mobility routines that I've shared with you, it's appropriate before or after a workout. But if I was gonna choose one, I would do this before a workout. Grab my skate. It is absolutely gorgeous out here today. And this is really gonna be a short mobility routine or warm-up routine. We'll call it a warm-up routine. Something that really is directed towards continuing to get your body temperature up, continuing to get your heart rate up, but moving all of your major muscles and joints through a significant range of motion. Let's see, I'm here at Albatross and I don't trust myself, so I'm gonna put my stuff in my lockbox. Keys, phone case, mask of course, and we'll keep the skate right here too. Coffee's coming with me, of course. Still risking a little bit here. Making a little leap of faith. Boom. And we are aboard Albatross. All right, get you set up and we're gonna go right into this. It's gonna be a quick and dirty, shortest warm-up movement routine that I've shared with you thus far. So make sure I can put you in the tripod without turning you off. Excellent. And feel free to follow along. There we go. One more sip of coffee. We're rocking and shaking a little bit, so I'm gonna spread you out a little bit more. Make sure you are wedged in there. And now we're good to go. Take my tie off. This is my work business casual tie. Can you see me? Good, good. Bear with me, enjoy the view. I'm gonna grab a towel real quick. Towel is the bumper in case you decide to fall off the tripod and you won't go into the water. All All right, so we'll start shaking the wrists out. Shaking them out in circles. Switch it around, circles the other way. And really let your wrist be floppy, fingers loose and floppy. We're not resisting at all. Up and down. This is wrist flexion and extension. Now side to side. Be a little more gentle with this one. This is abduction and adduction of your wrist joint. I'm here in anatomical position, palms facing forward. A little tougher to keep the fingers loose and floppy on this. All right, now we're gonna move on up to our elbows. And we're thinking here, and see how I'm kind of circling it out, I'm not really operating at the shoulder joint here. I'm operating at the elbow joint. Try that out to your side. I'm gonna switch my circles. And sure, there's some muscle activation here, but I'm really keeping my extremities disengaged. Now, I'm not going to flop back and forth with the elbows because I don't like locking out my elbow joint. I don't want you locking out your elbow joint aggressively like that. It's not like your wrist joint where you can circumduct and go all around. This is a hinge joint. It stops right there. We don't want to complete full extension abruptly and aggressively like that. Let's move up to the shoulders. Now I'm wiggling the shoulders, and you see my wrists and elbows are still loose, but I'm really allowing my shoulders to get in the mix. I like making circles, so I'm making shoulder circles going backwards. Now I'm going to reverse that. Shoulder circles forward. Get back view if that helps for me. I'm going to stick with the shoulder joint now. We're going to do big reverse circles with the shoulders. I'm going to go right arm first for 10 reps. Now I'm using momentum to help carry me through this circle. Switch sides, 10 reps. See how I'm allowing my torso and my body to rock and sway with my arm, not resisting it. All right, let's go back to our first arm forward. I want this shoulder joint, ball and socket joint that is my shoulder, to navigate and explore its entire range of motion in the ball and socket joint, really lubricating that joint. Switch sides. And allowing my ribs to mobilize and slide and wrap around, or my scapulas, sorry, my scapulas to slide and wrap around my ribs. I'm gonna double up. I'm gonna do something I call backstrokes. I'm gonna come on down here so you can see me a little more. Backstrokes means we're going reverse circles simultaneously, or alternating, but at the same time. Again, keep your core, torso loose, spine's loosey-goosey, and let your body move with your shoulders. Go about 10 on each arm, so 20 total. I'm using a lot of momentum here. My arms become taut like a piece of rope. Kind of reminds me of one of those carnival rides that goes around, comes up. Because of momentum, it makes it over. Comes back around again. So now I'm doing front strokes or freestyle. Forward. See how I'm twisting my spine. I'm allowing thoracic, cervical, and lumbar rotation here. I really feel like I'm not having to put forth a lot of effort here because I'm using momentum, building velocity and keeping it. All right, sweet. Let's add some twisties in. Head's cut off pretty good, isn't it? Let's see if I can make an adjustment without turning you off like I usually do. All right, sweet. So we're gonna start with some lumbar rotation. So my arms are loose. I'm twisting from about my belly button. So picture your spine that's in the rear of your belly button, and that area of your spine is twisting. It's your lumbar region of your spine, right above your butt. So my thoracic and cervical spine are pretty much staying locked in place, and I'm twisting from right above the hips. My arms arms are out, so the arms lend you a little bit of momentum, help you build velocity, and they kind of carry you into the stretch. Now I'm going to focus on twisting the mid-spine, T-spine. See here, my shoulder blades are moving more. I'm actually trying to keep my belly button still now, allowing my mid-spine to twist. And I let my arms carry through all the way into a good stretch. Like I'm wringing out the towel, and I get a couple back pops in too. Oh yeah, got another good pop. Now we're going to move up to the cervical spine, which starts close to the base of your neck, moves up to the base of your skull. Now here I'm going to keep my body pretty still, and I'm going to think about from my clavicle up, rotating a little more gently. I'm not swinging side to side or twisting as quickly, not as ballistic here. I'm thinking about twisting from the collarbone up. I can speed it up a little bit. Whoa! There's an added challenge. Don't fall off the boat. Alright, now what I really like to do, that's really a preface to doing some head circles. Head circles, I'm thinking about my chin and the back of my head, this bony protuberance you have on the back of your skull. We all have that pokey part. That back protuberance on protuberance, blah, 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 coffee hasn't settled in, on the back of your skull and your chin. They're both making the biggest circles possible. It's like you're drawing a figure 8 with the chin circles and the back of your skull. And you notice here I'm not swinging my neck all the way around. Show you from the side here. Switch directions. Chin is making circles. The knob on the back of my head is making circles. And what I'm doing here is operating in the frontal plane. I'm rolling to the sides. To the sides. Now we can progress and move our neck in a little greater range of motion in the transverse plane. Now you'll see me bobble head and swivel my neck all the way around. See the difference? Now I'm looking all the way up. Give me a big neck stretch. Later scapula. Oh yeah. When I go chin to chest, I feel my occipital muscles, base of my skull stretching. Now sometimes I do those slower, sometimes I do them faster. That was kind of in the middle. Let's move down to our lower body now. This is really going to challenge my balance. So let's do some hip swings. Let's actually start with some high hurdles. High hurdle, then a hip swing. So I'm going to plant my left leg, pushing my left hip down, keeping my glutes engaged, core engaged, abs. I'm going to bring your right knee up and over and back. Every time I lift a knee up, I push down into the ground, into the deck of my boat. Once again, you don't have to be on a boat to do this. If you want a little added challenge, ooh, albatross is getting rocky on me now. Keeping my hips squared up to the best of my ability. I'm not moving my hips with my leg. I'm facing you. That way I'm isolating the hip joint. Let's get a couple more. I'm going to switch sides. Looking over. In. External circle. Internal circle. External circle. Internal circle. So keeping square facing forward is definitely one of the hardest parts of this drill. Remember to push down as you lift up. A couple more. All right, now psoas muscles are fired up too. Glutes are fired up from stabilizing. Let's shake them out a little bit. And so I like to shake the hips in a few different ways, but let's start with, oh, this is gonna be a good balancing act here. Let's start right foot planted, left hip, grab my mast, shaking from the hip joint, wiggling the toes, keeping the knees loose, internally and externally rotating my hip, shaking it front to back, side to side. All right, switch side. See how I'm rotating in, rotating out, shaking front to back, side to side. All right, now if I wasn't on a rocking boat, I would try to do that, just standing and stabilizing on one leg. We'll try that for my ankles though. Let's move down to the ankle joint, which you can't really see my ankles. So I'm gonna hop up on here, past my porthole, and get some ankle shaking going on. Now I'm really shaking up and down, ankle flexion and extension. The rest of your body stays pretty rigid and engaged. That way we can isolate what we're shaking out. All right, switch sides. Floppy feet. Using my quadriceps to do the shaking here. All right, now I'm gonna shake side to side. So instead of up and down, side to side. And it sounds simple, but it's kind of a weird movement going side to side, because not only do you need to move the hip joint, your entire leg side to side, you have to internally and externally rotate your hip a little bit to get that lateral movement from your ankle joint. But our ankle joints are meant to move that way, so we don't want to miss out on it. All right, now let's go into some hip swings. I'm gonna go and challenge my balance here. I'm gonna start by swinging the right leg. Make sure I don't kick any cleats around me. That's certainly a real danger when I'm on a boat. All right, legs grounded. See how long I can stay balanced here, side to side. I like to move my arms with the hip swing. Ooh, albatross is giving me a run for my money on my stability here. Again, my bottom leg is planted, engaged. We're going to switch sides now. It's about 30 seconds. Trying to keep my torso vertical, my spine neutral, and as still as possible. We don't want your hips to be rocking and swaying with your leg swing. We want your body to be still while your hip is swinging. Let's get a little bit more on this side. Bottom leg is planted firmly, connecting you to the ground, staying engaged. All right, great. I also like to do some lateral hip swings now. Front to back, we just did sagittal plane. Now we're gonna hit the frontal plane side to side. Helps to hold on to something here. Now when you're doing lateral swings with your hips, it's okay to let your torso and your hips twist a little bit. You wanna point your toes both directions. Pointing my toes out and in, out and in. So you're internally and externally rotating your hip as you swing side to side in frontal plane. All right, switch sides. So when you swing across, your toes point one way, swing out, toes point the other way. take it full body now, and I'm gonna start shaking the knees, start twisting the torso, start flapping the arms. We're thinking shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck is loose. Let's bobble the head a little bit. And when I'm shaking side to side, my quads are jiggling, my hamstrings are jiggling. It really feels like your fascia, IT band, fascia in between your muscles are shaking loose from the bone, which is a pretty therapeutic feeling. I'm gonna twist the shoulder blades a little bit. I'm gonna go out wide. This looks like a pretty cool dance. I'm pretty sure the folks over on the sidewalk are gonna take some dance notes. Go into, see how I'm bouncing, twisting, I'm still keeping my knees loose, going into backstrokes. You can really get creative with it. Switch it. Now I'm gonna hula hoop the hips out. You can make this your own. I'm just trying to be as full body as possible. I'm gonna switch the hula hoops. Woo! And one more full body shake. Now I'm gonna lift the feet up. All right, now that all my neighbors think I'm crazier than they originally thought, then we're getting warmed up. So at the end there, we're just freestyling. Try to shake all your joints out, all your major muscle groups out. Just keep running through all your ducts in your head. Neck, scapulas, gliding and sliding, shoulders internally and externally rotating, wrists staying floppy, toes staying floppy, ankles, knees going front to back, knees going side to side, hips rotating in and out, front to back, side to side. Remember, you've got 3 planes of motion. The front to back motion, that's the sagittal plane, front to back movement. Side to side lateral motion is called the frontal plane. Frontal plane is where you're moving side to side. And then the transverse plane, where we're twisting and rotating like you're in a cylinder. And you can really hit all those at the same time. Just relax, breathe, and shake it out. So give it a try. There's no limits here, but I like to start small and a little more controlled, as you can see, and then finish with a bang. So you can bust all that out in 10 minutes. Follow along the video, grasp the concept, and then make it your own. So give it a go. Catch you later. Look at this gorgeous day. And there's our city. What's up, Joe?